Hello, you guys. Oh my gosh. Welcome to the Unapologetically Terrified podcast with your host, Ayi. Thank you so much for being here. This is episode 2 after episode 1. And literally, before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much for all of the love on my last video, all of the support, all of your kind words, all of the experiences that you guys shared in the comments. Thank you so much. We are now over 1,000 subscribers, which is insane. I cannot thank y'all more. Like 13-year-old Ayi is screaming right now. I always say this, like I just have to mention it in almost every video, but I had a YouTube channel when I was 13 and it's still up to this day. I'll link it down below if you want to be creepy. But yeah, it's a faceless channel, just me and my baby voice playing Papa's Cupcakeria. I've been a YouTube fiend for like a minute. Like I've been into YouTube since like the Niga Higa stage, the Jenna Marbles, the OGs. Yeah, I've been into YouTube for a minute, but and it's something that I always wanted to do. Like that was a big reason why I wanted to start this channel, was because I just kept repeating to myself, oh, I owe it to myself, I owe it to myself, I owe it to myself. And I do. And right now in this period of my life, I'm in like a transition and I have nothing but time. So I'm like, why not? Why not? Anyways, thank you guys so much. I'm so excited for our community. I'm so excited to see where we'll go and all the conversations we're about to have. I'm really happy. So thank you. I appreciate every single one of you. With that being said, like I said, welcome to the Unapologetically Terrified podcast with your host, Ayi. Today we're going to be talking about imposter syndrome / phenomenon. I'm going to be using syndrome and phenomenon interchangeably throughout this episode, but they essentially mean the same thing. For those of you that don't know, imposter syndrome is the feelings that you get when you feel like you don't belong in a specific space, you are belittling your experiences, and you feel like basically that you don't belong in a space and that everyone around you belongs except for you. Imposter syndrome, I feel like, is one of those things that is not new at all, but it has been talked about more recently. I don't really remember it in high school. And that's like 6 years ago. I don't really remember it being talked about in high school, like 6-7 years ago. I feel like it's a little bit more recent. Like when I entered college is when I started hearing about it. But I'm glad that we're talking about it, because it's something that not everyone, but almost everyone goes through. And yet it's talked about, but we still ignore it. Like we still try to act like it's not there when it really is. And the reason why I say imposter phenomenon rather than imposter syndrome is because I took a professional development workshop at my job a few summers back, or actually it happens every summer. So like for the last 2 summers, I've taken this mental health professional development workshop, and the nice sweet lady always talks about imposter phenomenon, and she says that we should be using phenomenon instead of syndrome, because first of all, language is the first and easiest step that you can take in order to make a change and like just help people feel better about themselves. But she said that we should be using imposter phenomenon instead of imposter syndrome, because imposter phenomenon kind of insinuates that it is a wide thing, like a lot of people go through it, whereas syndrome kind of isolates you. It kind of makes it seem like it's this psychological disorder and that it's internal. And when you say phenomenon, it takes off a lot of the pressure and blame off of one singular person and puts it on their situation rather than something that's internally wrong with them. And I couldn't agree more, because it's so true. It's so true. A lot of people go through this feeling and yet we act like we don't. When it comes to imposter phenomenon, the first time that I ever went through it really severely was when I was in high school. It was when I was in high school, and well, to start things off, I didn't really go to the best high schools. I went to two high schools, ninth and 10th grade in one, and 11th and 12th in another. And the high school that I went to in ninth and 10th grade wasn't the best high school. It was severely underfunded. The kids were bad as hell. The teachers couldn't take it. I remember us having like a new English teacher like in ninth grade. Like we had multiple English teachers, like they could not last. But there was this one specific English teacher, actually, I think her name was Miss Garcia. She was a good teacher, honestly. She is the reason why I fell in love with Lord of the Flies, which has been my favorite book ever since she introduced it to us. But yeah, Miss Garcia was one of those teachers where like they leave an impact on you and then like you never see them again. She hated our guts. She hated my guts, okay? And she made that known. But yeah, that's besides the point. We barely had good teachers. We had a few teachers who focused on like a few good students to really like teach them, but I feel like they kind of gave up on majority of the school and just selected a few good ones and taught them. My school was one of those things where like you really had to focus in order to learn, and not in the sense that like the work was hard, but in the sense that there were so many distractions around you that you had to like weed out the madness in order to excel at that school. Nonetheless, there were still like very smart and educated kids there, but it was just really hard because yeah, you had to weed out a lot of noise. Anyways, I kind of internalized that experience that I had at my high school, my first high school. My second high school was pretty good. It was okay. But both underfunded, like, like they weren't the best. Anyways, I internalized my experience at my first high school, and I was telling myself like, oh yeah, like if I'm surrounded by these people and if this is my situation, then surely I can't be as good of a student as someone that goes to a better high school, which is not true. Not true. That was the imposter phenomenon kicking in when I went through this experience. So in high school, me and my friends, two of my friends, we got selected to go to a boarding school for the summer. I think we went for like a month and a half, and this was a really, really, really good boarding school, like rigorous boarding school up there, and we went there for a month and a half, and for the longest time, honestly, for that entire experience, I was telling myself like, oh, Ayi, how did you get here? Like, did you finessed your way here? Because no way you're here surrounded by these people and you come from where you come from, yeah, like I was just telling myself that, and that was imposter phenomenon kicking in, because the boarding school that I went to, it was filled with people from around the world, okay? Smart children from around the world. There were people from Saudi, from Italy, from Africa. I think we had a prince. I don't know if that was like a running joke, but he was going, if it was a joke, he was sticking to the bit, okay? But there was a prince there, like people that came from money and stuff like that. Just really like privileged kids there. And it's funny because when I met those kids from Saudi, they were like, oh, you're the first black Muslim we've ever met. I'm like, what? That's insane. Anyway, yeah, they thought I was Nation of Islam. It's like so off topic, but they thought I was Nation of Islam. I'm like, no, I'm Muslim, just like you. Anyways, yeah, that was the first time that I've ever been surrounded by incredibly bright minds all at once. And when you ask them about their experiences, they'll be like, oh yeah, like I'm in this club, that club, this club, that club. I do this, I do that. I take this, I take that. And that's how I got here and all these things. and I think I was on a scholarship. I don't think I had to pay anything. I don't remember. It was so long ago, but I don't think I had to pay anything. That was almost 10 years ago, which is insane. But yeah, I don't think I had to pay anything when I went there. And yeah, it was just a crazy experience for me because I was academically challenged for sure. That's also where I fell in love with psychology. It's funny because at Exeter, which is the name of the boarding school, um, in my first psychology class, my psychology professor was black, which was nice to see. But he ran the conformity line test on the class, and surprise, surprise, I was the subject. And it was so funny. When he picked me, he was like, yeah, you step out. I was like, why me? But now I see why. I let the imposter phenomenon get to me. So for those of you that don't know, the conformity line test is by Solomon Ash. And he basically, it was like a peer pressure test. And basically person who's running, the person who's running the person who's running the test would tell the rest of the class, and well, I would step out, I wouldn't hear any of this, but the person who's running the test would tell the rest of the class, okay, there's 4 lines, one of them is clearly the shortest line and the rest of them are the same height. So for example, A would be tall, B would be the shortest one, C and D would also be tall. When I ask you which of these is the shortest line, you are all going to say it is clearly A. When the real answer is B, they're going to all say that it's A. And then I'm going to go last, and I'm the test subject. They're going to see what I say. And when they did it, guess what I chose? I chose A instead of B, which was clearly the shortest line. I chose one of the tall lines because I was conforming based on peer pressure and all these ideas, and honestly the imposter syndrome / phenomenon that was happening in my head at the time. But yeah, that didn't help my situation at all. It just proved that, I wasn't comfortable and confident in my skills at that stage. And when it comes to conformity, there are a lot of reasons. There are a lot of reasons why people conform to their situation. But I think when he asked me, one of the reasons why I said that was because, well, everyone in here is smart. Like, maybe I'm not seeing something that's A, like, but it was clearly B. Anyways, that's just one of the easy ways that imposter phenomenon can affect you. It can affect your judgment. It can make you belittle and not think highly of your skills. And just, you can apply that line test to literally any situation in your life, right? Especially when you're at work, when you're at school, when you're having a conversation about ethics and all these things. If everyone says, oh, this is right, but you believe that this is wrong, are you still going to go for what everyone else believes because you are not confident in your skills? And high school me definitely thought that, okay? High school me was definitely there. But throughout life, like up until now, I learned to be confident in my skills, to be confident in what I believe in, to understand that when you're navigating the world, especially if you look different, you have to be confident in who you are, and you have to surround yourself with people who are also confident in who you are and who can agree and disagree with you without belittling you and all these things. But yeah, my experience at Exeter was definitely the most I felt like an imposter. And after that, I learned that everyone has their own experiences, and their experiences shape their beliefs. And it's important to be firm in your beliefs because no one has lived your life except for you. And it's okay to disagree. It's okay. That's literally what life is about, disagreeing and having conversations and hearing other people's opinions and standing firm on your beliefs. And that's something that I really learned at Exeter. Exeter was such a nice experience, man. I remember when we were leaving, like, we were legit crying. Like, I've even felt like an imposter when it comes to my religion. You know, when people say, oh, you find Islam multiple times in your life, and I'm at that stage right now where the last time I found it was when I put on the hijab. And the reason why I put on the hijab is pretty straightforward. Like, I was learning more about my religion. I was learning more about what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us to do. And one of the things he told us to do was put on the hijab. So that's why I put on the hijab. And it also, putting on the hijab also like always reminds me of the goal, which is Jannah. But yeah, I sometimes feel like an imposter in my religion because I feel like someone on TikTok put it perfectly. I think she said, she was like, I'm not new to this, but I'm trying to be true to this, you know? Or like, I'm true to this, but I'm new to this, but I'm trying to be true to this, or something like that. Yeah, I'm new to this, but I'm trying to be true to this. Because the phrase is, I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. I feel like a baby Muslim. I feel like a baby Muslim because I feel like there's so many things that I don't know, and I'm throwing myself into situations where I'm surrounded by people who know so much. Like, for example, I've started to go to the masjid more, and just to like learn more about my religion and stuff like that. And I'm surrounded by people who know so much about their religion, and I'm fighting the imposter syndrome. Sometimes it creeps up on me because I'm just like, wow, like there's so much knowledge out there, so much knowledge. But then I remember this phrase that I always see, that, oh, the Quran was not revealed all at once. It was revealed over a span, a long period of time, because there is so much knowledge, and being and throwing yourself into that knowledge all at once will do nothing but overwhelm you, and that learning about your deen is an obligation, and expanding your knowledge is an obligation, and it is something that takes so much time. And there are some people who are fortunate enough to start learning when they were kids, others who start learning when they're way older, like elderly. And then there's me who started learning when she was, you know, a young adult. And yeah, sometimes I feel like a baby Muslim. Sometimes I feel like, wow, I'm so behind. But no. First of all, that's Shaitan trying to get you to give up. And second, you're not behind. You're not behind at all. You just have to take it little by little and not overwhelm yourself and not give up on learning. But yeah, sometimes, because like I just like locked in for real recently. Like, I've been a hijabi for what? Since October, so it's been like 5-6 months now. Letting imposter syndrome get to you when it comes to your religion or your spirituality is so unproductive because nothing comes easy, you know, nothing comes easy. And it's important to recognize that we are the ones in control. We are the ones in control of our actions. We get to decide what we do. And I made a video that's called How We Live Our Days is How We Live Our Lives. And it basically talks about how every single decision that you make throughout your day is, and if you choose to make those same decisions over and over every single day, is how you essentially live your entire life. So if you choose to succumb to your imposter phenomenon every single day, then you will be an imposter for your entire life. You will tell yourself for your entire life that you don't deserve this thing, that you are not worthy of something, that you are smaller than you actually are. And that is untrue. And it's important to control our actions, make the better decision every single day. And an easy way to think about it is to just think of a small step every single day, and making those small decisions that will help us become more confident, that will help us be better, that will help us battle imposter phenomenon every single day. And that is what will help us be better overall, you know? In my video, How We Live Our Days, I talked about the importance of like pushing ourselves, the importance of trying new things, of growing. It's like a cute, fun little video. You can go check it out if you want. It got copyrighted, so I actually don't know if it's up. It's important to battle imposter phenomenon, and it happens to the best of us. There's actually this term called, it is called pluralistic complacency or something like that. Pluralistic ignorance. And it is when we're all experiencing imposter syndrome, we're all feeling like we are undeserving of what we actually worked really hard for all at once, and we end up just not saying anything. We end up belittling our skills. We end up dismissing our hard work, all in the name of imposter syndrome. And it's crazy how almost everyone goes through these things, but yet we act like we don't, and we humble ourselves and act smaller than we are, and we don't give credit to ourselves where it's due. We don't give ourselves our own flowers, and that can make it so hard to grow. And what is life without growth? What is life without growth? What is life without seizing opportunities where we can expand our knowledge and learn new things? That is a miserable life. I'm sorry. That is a terrible life. Think of all the opportunities that have missed you because you felt like you weren't worthy of seizing those opportunities, because you were scared of what other people might say, because you were scared of other people saying, oh, you don't deserve that, which doesn't happen. People wouldn't dare. People wouldn't dare. If someone says that, then they are more so saying something about themselves than they are saying about you, because at the end of the day, everything is a projection, and usually when people speak, they're speaking about themselves, okay? Especially when they're speaking negatively. That's the thing. Like, when people speak negatively, I don't even, about me, like, I never take it personal. I always end up feeling bad for them, because I'm like, if you have the audacity to say something like that out loud about me, you are speaking about yourself, and I cannot imagine how you speak to yourself if you have the courage to say mean things about someone else out loud. Like, I can't imagine how you treat yourself, and it just ends up making me feel bad for them. But anyway, that's besides the point. Do not let imposter phenomenon get to you. Do you know what the chances are of you being born? Take a wild guess. Put it in the comments. What do you think the chances are of you being born? Is it 1 in 100 billion? No. Is it 1 in 300 billion? No. Is it 1 in 100 trillion? No. It's 1 in 400 trillion. Do you know how big that number is? The chances of you being on this earth at this time. Do you know how huge that number is? We can't even fathom a billion, for real. Like, the human mind can't comprehend the word billion because we can't see it, because that number really shouldn't exist unless it comes to the population. Like, your chances of being alive is 1 in 400 trillion. The space was made for you. You will never run out of space, whether it be in your career, whether it be in your hobbies and anything that you want to pursue. The space is there for you. It was made for you. It was intentionally created for you. So why in the world are you scared to take it? And I promise you, when I got over this mentality, or when I understood that, it made everything so much easier for me, because I feel like imposter phenomenon can also show up in like what other people say about, oh, like, this thing is saturated, like, don't even try, like, oh, everyone is doing that, like, you're not gonna stand out, like, and you internalize those thoughts and beliefs, and then you eventually let that imposter phenomenon get to you. The space is there. Space is there. And from an Islamic perspective, your story was written, 50,000 years ago? everything that is going to happen to you has already been written. It's already going to happen to you. It's just a matter of you taking it. If you have a dream and you want to pursue it, pursue it. One of my favorite creators, her name is Bahja. Oh my god, I love her so much. I love her. But something that she says all the time in her videos is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would not put a dream in you if he did not want to grant it to you, if he did not want you to pursue it and make that dream come true. And that's like something that I carry with me all the time. Like, that's so true. If you have a dream, pursue it. Make a decision every single day that will bring you closer to that dream. Do not let imposter phenomenon get to you. An imposter phenomenon can not only look like feeling like an imposter, it can be perfectionism. It can be like, oh, I'm not going to do this unless it's perfect because everyone else needs to see that it's perfect. It can be not giving yourself your flowers because you feel like this isn't something that needs to be celebrated, like everyone else has done this before. Like, literally, Einstein felt like an imposter. Einstein went through imposter syndrome. Okay. But yeah, everything that's yours is already yours. And even in a non-spiritual perspective, I hear this phrase all the time, but it's like the I don't chase, I attract thing, and the whole what's mine is already mine. Like, yes, it is. It is. Please, it is. Please, just take what's yours, okay? It's already yours. Once you realize that you're the one in control and that everyone is in their own head and no one is thinking about you as much as you think they are. Like, I promise you, no one is thinking about you. This is like a good way to think about anxiety too. Like, because imposter phenomenon is also anxiety. Like, no one is thinking about you as much as you think they are. Everyone is in their own head and everyone is thinking about themselves. I promise you. No one is thinking about you as much as you're thinking about yourself. So yeah, why let other people stop you? Why let imposter phenomenon stop you? Just do what you have to do. Do what you have to do. Okay? I hope you guys liked this video. It might be a little bit shorter, but that's okay. If there's anything that you guys want me to talk about, please let me know. This podcast is now on Spotify, so if you want to listen in, just search Unapologetically Terrified on Spotify and have a listen. Video is also on Spotify, so you can watch on Spotify as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Once again, thank you for 1,000 subscribers. I'm so excited to see where we all go with my little community. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day, wonderful night, wherever you are. And like I said, do not let imposter phenomenon consume you. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share your thoughts down below. I would love to hear from you guys. And yeah, I will see you all in the next one.